It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast coming to you from Cozumel on board the MSC Grandiosa. We're on deck 7, actually at the steakhouse, sitting on one of their tables. A quick explanation, my camera, due to the Wi-Fi setup here, I think on the ship, my camera and my computer weren't marrying up, so we jumped in at the last minute to run it through the old camera and the computer, which sucks. So if it's not real clear, my apologies on that, and I hope you can hear me, and I've got no way of checking to see if you can. Can one of you guys check on your thing to see if I'm on the air and so forth? Comments. There's comments. I can do comments too. Amy says, hi guys. Hi, Amy. So anyway, that gives you a little bit of explanation on why the picture's not real good. We're sitting here actually with a little audience today. We got Hot Air Tom. We got Cindy is with us. Kenneth is with us. There's John over there. Hot Air Tom is waving his head that says, I am on, and then he can hear me. So, okay, so we're going to go with it, and maybe by the next show, I'll figure out what's wrong with using the Wi-Fi system. So, let me bring you up to date on my world first, and then we'll get on with the show. Some of you may know that I was in a situation at home with my sister Saturday night on her 86th birthday. She passed away about 6:30 in the evening, peacefully, which is what we had hoped for. A little ironic story. She and Amanda had a movie on Queen Victoria, or one of the Queen type movies. And in her day, my sister used to enjoy watching that. And there was some dancing. And Amanda said to her mother, I said, oh, Mom, looky there. They're dancing like you used to do. And my sister, who for 3 or 4 days had not really been able to say or do much of anything, smiled, and a couple minutes later passed away. My feeling is she's dancing her way to heaven. So I was glad that was the last positive thing that crossed her brain. So to my sister, rest in peace. We love you. We miss you. All right, so on with the business at hand. The Grandiosa has been interesting so far. I've not covered as much as the ship as I would like to, but so far I'm reasonably impressed. It's huge. There's way too many people, but then I feel that way about any big ship. It's very Meraviglia-esque. They're very similar in style. This is a larger ship than Meraviglia. But one thing that I have noticed about this ship is it is much more wheelchair accessible than the MSC ships were when I first started with them, 4 years ago or so. So where it still might not be as good as the best, they've made tremendous strides. I'm in Kenneth and I are in an accessible balcony cabin. They need automatic doors, number one, so I still have to fight with the doors. Everything in there is the right size as far as what you need, with the roll-in shower and all that, but it's small, very small. I believe if I had the inside cabin like I had originally booked, there would actually be more space. So the room itself is pretty tight for two people, especially when one of them's a big fat guy like me with the wheelchair. Now, on the other hand, the balcony is probably big enough I could put 4 beds out there because it's huge. So, but all in all, the room's okay. Our room guy's been really, really helpful. They had the 2 beds together. It was one big bed when we first got there. So, put a call in and they came and separated them. But our guys so far has been very helpful for me. So, food wise, everything that I've had has been good. We had tenderloin last night, which was beyond good. It was fabulous. Had prime rib the night before. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't the best prime rib I've ever had, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it was enjoyable. We had after we embarked on the ship before sail away, we went up to the buffet and I had a couple of pieces of pizza. The cheese pizza was a little plain, but the pepperoni was maybe as good as I've had on any cruise ship. It was just outstanding. So, all in all, food's been pretty good. Otter Tom and Cindy did a show last night. I haven't done any shows. I'm still kind of recovering, trying to get my feet under me from the last couple of weeks, which have been extremely rough. So anyway, we're rolling. We're on here for 2 weeks. We will be joined next week by Roger and Nikki's best friend when she was alive. Nikki's friend Eve will be coming with Roger. So they'll be joining us for the second week. So, all right. So let's see. What else did I have to? I got to think now because I'm so totally off kilter from trying to get the show done. This is, by the way, February the 8th. We're coming to you from Cozumel. I might have said that. The show's brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around and by Chillie's Cruises. We are live from Cozumel, Mexico. Beautiful day here. It's going to be 75-ish. Sunshine, which I'm looking forward just to getting some sun and warming up a little bit. I'll run quickly over the headlines on today's show. I struggled a little bit with news, but the lead story this morning is going to be several successful medical airlifts. Also today, Norfolk port closure due to severe weather. Carnival Liberty embarkation delayed 2 hours in New Orleans. A 5 embarkation hour delay for the Pride. Seaside broke free from moorings. A jazz legend dies on a jazz cruise. A crew member on Seascape passes. And lots more live here at 11 o'clock this morning. Today is National Bagel and Lox Day. Now, for me, that's great. Only they didn't have lox and bagels on the menu this morning at breakfast. But I did have lox with my eggs Benedict, so it was eggs Benedict lox. It was eggs Benedict with salmon. Anyway, I came close. This day in history, in 1964, any of you remember what happened? The Beatles made their first appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. Of course, that was part of the changing of music forever. I thought John's singing and trying to dance. If you're a podcast person, you can always access the show via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News or The Old Fat Guy, and either one will bring you to me. Today is going to be sunny and 77, the latest weather from Cozumel, and we shouldn't have any effect on the 5.7 magnitude earthquake of about 12 hours ago, which actually happened over near Oaxaca on the west coast of Mexico. And when I was looking at that this morning, man, Mexico has a lot of earthquakes. I had not noticed that before, but they seem to have an overwhelming amount of earthquakes. All right, so let's get on with the news after a quick break from one of those fine network sponsors. Don't go away. I'll be right back. All right, the lead story this morning. Who has the lead this morning? I think Nestor has the lead. Anyway, let's get started with the news.
Several medical evacuations were carried out the past few days. The Portuguese Navy coordinated the emergency rescue of a cruise ship crew member on February 4th, after the vessel was sailing around 180 nautical miles southwest of Madeira. Authorities said that a crew member was suffering from severe abdominal pain and required urgent medical assistance. The crew member was successfully airlifted from the ship and flown to Madeira Airport, where they were handed over to the Santa Cruz Fire Brigade and transported to a hospital for further treatment. A passenger aboard the cruise ship IE da Perla was urgently evacuated on Tuesday morning after suffering a heart attack while the vessel was sailing near Bonaire. The patient was identified as a 37-year-old man from Germany who required urgent treatment. The patient was safely transferred from the ship and flown to shore, where ambulance personnel were already standing by. Also, another medical evacuation took place aboard Icon of the Seas during its current Eastern Caribbean voyage, after 2 passengers experienced serious health issues at sea. The incident happened early Monday morning while the ship was sailing through Dominican territorial waters near Puerto Plata, on its way towards St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The 2 women began experiencing pulmonary complications while on board.
Carnival Cruise Line has notified guests that Carnival Sunshine will arrive late to Norfolk and delay its scheduled departure after severe weather forced the port to close over the weekend. In a statement issued on Friday, February 6, Carnival confirmed the ship would return to its home port 1 day later than planned due to adverse conditions impacting the region. The port of Norfolk was closed on Saturday, February 7, preventing the ship from completing its turnaround as scheduled. The cruise line said it is continuing to update guests as operations resume and works to minimize further disruption to the upcoming sailing.
Planning a trip to Anaheim, LA, or Disneyland in the next few months? Enjoy your trip hassle-free with a mobility scooter or wheelchair rental. Book by February 28, 2026 to save big. Anaheim and LA rentals are 15% off when you book by February 28, 26. Use code CAWINTER or SRN11137. Rent now or call 1-888-441-7575.
Carnival Liberty passengers heading to the Caribbean on the February 8 departure from New Orleans experienced a delayed embarkation after Carnival Cruise Line reported a system-related issue impacting port operations. In an advisory issued the morning of embarkation, the cruise line said check-in times were pushed back by 2 hours while it addressed the technical problem affecting both debarkation and embarkation processes. Carnival did not specify the exact system involved, but such delays typically stem from onboard or terminal IT systems tied to sail and sign accounts, cabin assignments, and guest reservations. Despite the disruption, Carnival Liberty is still expected to operate its scheduled 7-night Western Caribbean itinerary, with planned calls in Mahogany Bay, Roatan, Belize, and Cozumel. While delays during turnaround can affect both arriving and departing guests, these issues are usually resolved quickly and are unlikely to impact future sailings once systems are restored.
Carnival Pride was delayed returning to Baltimore on Sunday, resulting in an arrival by mid-afternoon. All arrival times for check-in at the cruise terminal were pushed back by 5 hours. Evening operations are being adjusted accordingly, but there are no confirmed itinerary changes at this time. Celebrate Valentine's Day with savings on mobility devices site-wide heart. Give yourself or a loved one the gift of enhanced mobility this Valentine's Day. Until Sunday, February 15th, you can save 14% on all the products you love, including the latest mobility. Cruise line private islands are designed to be relaxing, peaceful escapes, but it was anything but peaceful at MSC Ocean Cay Marine Reserve in the Bahamas for a few minutes on Thursday, February 5, 2026. During a burst of high winds, MSC Seaside broke free from her mooring lines and drifted sharply away from the pier while guests were still on the island and waiting to reboard the ship. A video posted on social media shows the ship loose at the bow with broken lines dangling into the water. The ship remained attached at the aft and did not drift completely from the pier. Nevertheless, the sudden and unpredictable motion made it unsafe for the gangways to be used, and guests were temporarily barred from returning to the ship. Fortunately, MSC Seaside did not drift far before her thrusters were able to bring her back to the pier and the vessel could be secured again, and guests were able to resume using the gangways.
Passengers aboard the jazz cruise were left heartbroken after learning that renowned jazz musician Ken Peplowski passed away during the final days of the voyage. Peplowski died on February 2, while the cruise ship Celebrity Summit was sailing in the Gulf of Mexico. He was 66 years old. According to reports, Peplowski was found in his stateroom after missing a scheduled performance. Shortly afterward, friends and cruise organizers confirmed his passing.
A deep sense of sadness has spread across MSC Seascape crew following the tragic passing of one of their colleagues. Chillie's Cruises received messages from several crew members confirming that their colleague, Daniel from Kenya, passed away in his cabin on the morning the ship arrived in Galveston, Texas on February 8. He was working as assistant waiter and was described by his colleagues as kind, hard-working, and dedicated person. At this difficult time, our thoughts are with Daniel's family, friends, and his colleagues. We extend our deepest condolences to everyone affected by this heartbreaking loss. May Daniel rest in peace. We're offering VIP savings on all scooter and wheelchair rentals in Las Vegas this winter. Book a mobility equipment rental by February 28, 2026 for discounts. The rental can take place anytime within the next 90 days. Get out and explore the Strip. Call Scooter Round at 1-888-441-7575 or reserve online. Rentals in Las Vegas are 15% off when booked by February 28, 2026 and 20% off if you pick up directly from our Scooter Round location. Use code LVWinter or SRN11137.
All right. That's actually going to put an end to the news portion of today's show. Said there wasn't a great deal. So let's go over and see who's in the chat room. All right, I said hello to Amy. Hi, Amy. There's Mike. Hi, Mike on the other side of the pond. Amy said you sound fine, look good. Well, thank you very much. There's Steve in Kentucky. Hey, Steve. Good morning, Chillie and everybody. Hope you guys are having a good time. Always.
Chillie got his hair cut and looks really nice.
Got my hair cut.
He looks 10 years younger today.
A little messy, but what the hell. Actually, the truth of the matter, the guy used some hairspray on it yesterday. And it's kind of poofed up today a little more than it was yesterday. Mike says, good morning to everybody. There's Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Hope you're having a good time. I always do. No doubt about that. Very sorry for your loss, Chillie. Prayers for you and the family. Thanks, Steve. So sorry. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Ken.
There's Todd. Todd says, good morning to everyone. Thank you, everybody. There's Jamin. Hello. About to book a cruise for President's Day 2027. Good deal, Jamin. Hot Air Tom is on Chillie's phone. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm sitting just to the right of Chillie. Yep. He is part of the audience today. It's the 9th, not the 8th. Where did I say the 8th, Mike? I don't remember where I said the 8th. Oh, on the opening? Did I say the 8th? Well, I might have, come to think about it. Let me see.
That's what happens when you're a cruise ship too long, Chillie. You don't know what day it is.
I'm totally confused. And I did say No, I got the 9th on the, I don't know where I said the 8th, Mike. Yeah, well, sorry about that. I know somebody out there is going to keep me straight. I got the 9th in some other places. I don't know. MSC has the internet locked down tighter than any cruise line. Yeah, well, it's been testy. Chillie bought a second. Oh, that's Tom talking as me. Bought a second device plan, so both computer and phone are on the same MS internet, but they won't talk to each other. Yeah. So we're going to see. I've got the GoPro with me, which is a possibility. John said he also has a camera that could plug into the computer. We'll be a little bit better off for the next show. Although, I mean, at least I'm going through and seemingly you guys have been able to hear me and see me, so that's good enough. There's Sonny. Hi, Sonny. Sonny down in Mississippi. How's the hubby? Has he had his procedure yet, Sonny? I don't remember when it was. I know it's coming up, but my thoughts are with you and him. There's Bonnie. What happened with Carnival Horizon in Miami? Computer crashed. I had not heard anything about that, Bonnie. Did that happen just today, or because I was actually working on stuff this morning and it had not come across any of my wires. So thank you, Bonnie. There's amigo John. He says, here. He's sitting right there. He just waved. Sonny says, hair looks good. Thank you, Sonny. Oh, Mike says, on the opening, I said the 8th.
Oh, yes, you did.
Okay. My bad.
Worked for me.
I was confused, Mike. Can you imagine that I would ever be confused? Shut up, Tom.
What was the
says,
stress level of getting the equipment to cooperate?
yeah, I was a little stressed here because I thought everything was just set up and ready to go. Decided to move the show out of the room because the lighting in my room was horrible. You guys, I do a lot of broadcasting from my cabin, and the lighting in there was no way to make it look good. Plus the fact that it's small enough that the room's not going to look good until the guy comes in and changes everything. So I decided to move down here and do it out in the open, and then at least the music is not so loud now. At one time it was blasting. I thought, oh God, it's going to ruin the show. But anyway.
It's funny, the ship's empty because everybody's off and they're playing music.
Everybody's
going to enjoy it.
Gone ashore already. Let's see. Amy says, talking about my sister. Thank you very much. Procedure is tomorrow for Tom, for your Sonny Tom. Okay, we'll be thinking about you, Sonny, and good luck tomorrow. There's Gretchen out in Ohio. Says, hi, guys. Booked on Azamara, Italy intensive cruise for May 5th, 2027. Good for you, Gretchen. You know what Eli thought of Azamara, so. And Tom and Cindy, they enjoyed their Azamara cruise. No, that's right. They were on Oceana. It was Eli that was on Azamara and liked it. And then our friend Bethany down in Tampa has been on a couple Azamaras, absolutely loves them. So Gretchen says, was beginning to wonder where you were. Oh, you mean sitting in the ship? I'm sitting right on the and I can't really do much maneuvering because I'm having to use the old camera in the computer. But this is behind me here is the Galleria, uh, and it has up above the ceiling that is programmed and does all kinds of lights and scenes and shows basically in the ceiling, which is pretty cool. Gretchen says Venice to Rome. Okay. On her cruise. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I promise we'll fix the show stuff for the next time on Wednesday. And that was Hot Air Tom's hand waving across the screen. So he's saying, bye, y'all. So, all right, guys, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great Monday, a great week. I'll see everybody back here on Tuesday. I'll probably do a live stream or two on Facebook between now and then. So I'll see you sometime. All right, guys. Thanks for being with me. See you soon. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.